Wait, hold on. Go. Ready, go.
How are you doing that?
Magic.
Okay, show us how you're really doing it.
My hand's underneath it.
What is that? All right, Hayden, show me how you get the paper clips out of the bag without touching them.
Oh, that was awesome. Whoa. It worked better last time because they didn't get stuck on anything.
Awesome job.
A magnet. Too much. Put in the tin. Perfect. Right amount. Perfect.
All right, notice how the students are starting with the biggest hexagram. That happens to be 20 grams. Now they've put 2 in, that wasn't enough. They put a third one in and realized that 60 grams is too much. So they're going to take out one of those 20 grams, insert a 10-gram hexagram, which is that green one. Now this happens to balance the balance, which means that the weight actually weighs 50 grams. So the yellow plus the green is going to be 50.
You definitely don't want to drop it.
All right.
Go.
I'm just going to count. Okay, Carly's going to film me only. I'm going to count. Raise your hand if you think the watermelon is going to float. 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's
5.
right over there.
Raise your hand if you think that it's going to sink. Good. Okay. A lot of people think it's going to sink. 16 people. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2. All right, before students are able to participate in this lab, they had to complete this data collecting page. We labeled it sink or float because that's the activity that we're doing for density. They went ahead and listed the fruit that they had. The prediction that they listed was either sink, did they think that fruit was going to sink, or did they think it was going to float? So we just had them write an S or an F. And then for correct, the correct column after we dropped it in the water, was it correct or was it not correct? They just wrote a Y or an N. Before we did that, we went ahead and listed a couple definitions that we were working on for the properties of matter. And then we drew pictures to remind us which each one is measured with and or properties of that property of matter. So that's just a little bit about what's in our journals for properties of matter. Go.
Drop it.
Whoa! I want you to write down mango, M-A-N-G-O, on your paper, underneath the fruit. Did you get it? You wrote mango?
Yeah.
Now I want you to make your prediction. Is it going to sink or is it going to float? You ready? Here we go. No!
Yes.
Raise your hand if you were correct. All right. Ooh, let's try. I'm gonna do a lemon and an orange.
Ooh.
Ready? What's kind of the same about a lemon and an orange? They're both rough. They have rough skin. What about if I try to squeeze them?
They'll spew out like juice.
Right, because are they hard or are they?
Soft.
They're soft, they're kind of squishy, right? The skin is kind of squishy. It reminds me of something that I use to wash my dishes.
Sponge.
A sponge, kind of like that? Okay, so let's see if they sink or float.
Yes!
Yes! All right. Okay, now, I'm going to take this orange. This orange does what? Sink or float?
Okay, so I want you to write on there. I'm going to take the skin off of the orange. I'm going to take the skin off of the orange. Here we go.
The juice first.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Why do you think that the orange, what do you think kept the orange from sinking the first time?
The peel.
The peel, right? The peel. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
I'm going to give you a few pieces of this orange peel so that you can feel it. Go ahead and feel it.
It smells like mint.
Okay, if I took the skin off the lemon, what do you think would happen?
It would sink.
It would sink. Okay. All right.
Again, we don't know.
Here we go.
What? Yes!
Hashtag, I hope you're paying attention.
Hashtag I am.
Good. All right. There's one word that I want to talk about. Sink or float. What is that word that we're trying to get to? Density.
Good job.
Okay, comparing this mango and comparing this lemon, which one do you think is more dense than the water? Which one do you think is more dense than the water? That means the particles are packed so tight together. Which one is more dense, the mango or the lemon than the water?
The lemon.
Okay, if the lemon floats, that means it is less dense, right? The skin is less dense than the water. So if the mango sinks, it is more or less? More. Good. Okay.
That's a candle.
Okay, how does the skin, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Grayson, you brought this. How rough is the skin? It's really rough, right? Okay. Is a cantaloupe light or heavy?
Heavy.
Is the skin thick or thin?
Thin.
Well, actually, it's pretty thin. I mean, it is, like this, but the actual this part is pretty thin. What do you know about the middle? What do you know about the middle of this fruit?
Yummy.
If I cut it, well, yes, it is yummy. It is yummy. But if I cut it in half, what would you see on the inside?
Seeds.
The seeds, and is it totally solid inside?
No.
There's a little bit of space, right? Just a little bit of space.
Yes.
Wait.
No.
Some people said yes, but look, what's it doing?
It's floating.
I have 2 of my favorite drinks. My most favorite is Diet Coke. My second favorite is Coke. Who likes Coke? Right? Alright, I'm going to take out these fruits. The ones on the bottom are more or less dense than the water.
Are you going to pour it in?
Are the fruits on the bottom more or less dense than the water?
Who's going to pour it in?
1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
Okay, think about it. If they floated to the bottom, are they heavier or lighter than the water?
Heavier.
So do you think they're more dense or less dense?
More dense.
More dense. All right. These are the same exact size. So when they put the soda in here, they put the same exact amount. Okay? So, do you think these are going to sink or are they going to float? You think they're going to float?
Sink.
Okay, they are really heavy. Like, I could use them to work out. Okay. You could? Because after a while they get really heavy. Okay. So, they are made with different things. I will tell you that. They might taste kind of the same. They might be kind of the same texture, but they're made with different things. But there is the same amount in here. Are you ready?
Knew it.
Okay. The Coke sinks. Wait a minute. But there's the same exact amount of liquid in each can. Who can tell me why the Coke sinks and why the Diet Coke floats? Who can tell me why? Valeria.
Because the Diet Coke has more diet and the Coke has more.
You know what? In her own words, she is exactly right. So the Coke has sugar in it. It has 39 grams of sugar. 39 grams. Can you believe that? And the Coke has 0 grams of sugar. But the Coke has something different. It
has a sweetener in it called aspartame, which is like a sugar substitute. So if you don't want real sugar, it's like diet sugar, right? And that sugar is, hold on just a second, that sugar is a lot lighter than the real sugar in here. So that's why this one will sink and this one will